are going to talk to you about some Foxtrot, Twinkles, and Promenade. Keep in mind that although this is American Foxtrot, we will be using a lot of French terms today, like Promenade. Did I say that right?
Yeah, so something we want to emphasize is that promenade is not a dance step, it is a dance position. And so Matt will be talking more about that as we kind of progress here. But what we wanted to show you first was the difference between what we call in ballroom closed position and what we call promenade position, since we're talking about positions and not a dance step.
Yeah, as we demonstrate, this thing to keep in mind, promenade is a French term, surprising, for strolling, which is why you can take a stroll down a promenade. And so what we're going to be doing is actually showing you a dance position where we can both simultaneously move in the same direction without flipping it around to something like shadow. So that's the point of promenade and why we're using it, so it'll be hopefully a little clearer that way.
Another fun fact, the term promenade in dance is in a lot of different types of dances, like ballet or even square dancing. So we're going to be doing promenade in ballroom dancing, so if you go somewhere else or dance something else, promenade will be something completely different.
If you just thought there's a French word in ballet, good thing. So we have our traditional closed position, just where we are offset. We're not getting into like a professional level thing here. We're just trying to show you kind of basic positions. If we rotate her so she is now facing forwards, you'll see that I end up having to rotate too. It changes the dynamic of our feet. And we are now in a position where we could both walk out together. What we don't ever want is this, because it is uncomfortable for my shoulder and her shoulder. It's really hard on this frame, and then we're both kind of walking out. So we're trying to make sure that we hit a 45-degree angle. If you had seen our East Coast swing videos, you'll kind of get it. We should probably do it this way so they can see the other angle. So we're in our closed, and then we're in our promenade. Ladies, notice that when we open the promenade, her head faces that way. If we close her, they would switch. Yes?
Another key thing for the follows, that something that is really difficult to control is not to over-rotate and end up here, because that's going to be problematic.
Yes. Our feet are both at 45-degree angles. They haven't opened up to parallel lines.
Okay, so now the twinkle.
So another twinkle. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. 2 bits, which is a shave and a haircut, I believe. I have to get her to promenade, right? So if you noticed, when I go from closed to promenade, she travels farther to my right.
Somewhat behind him.
So we do have a rightward turning figure through the chest. If I was here with Jeffrey Munson, he would say figure, because he is an angliophile. Look that up, that's a real word. What makes the twinkle unique, just so you guys know, is that it is a right turning figure, starting with the left foot. So every time we are going to turn to the right and we're going forward, we start with the right leg. By turning to the left, I start with the left leg for the rotation bits, because otherwise I will cross. So when we take this first step, the thing that I see most problematic is we end up getting rotation and we start turning this body. Now we have a weird kind of footstep. So instead, that left foot is going to go straight. Now I commence the turn with the right leg. That'll be 2. You can see that body has rotated to get her over. I'm going to bring my feet together, which is super important, and close. My feet are now at a 45-degree angle from where they started, and I am able to take this next step out. All right, we're not going to get super technical through there, but those are kind of the basic bits. So if I did this facing the line of dance like I typically would, I'll take a step, I'll begin my rotation, and then I'll land. 2 things just to cover real quick. My feet are together because we're teaching a bronze syllabus. If I was teaching a silver syllabus, we would have a hover action. This foot would come in and go out. If you find that at the end of your twinkle, you're landing here-ish, that's not bronze or silver. It's a term that we call lazy. So I don't want you to get lazy feet where they just land wherever the hell they want. I want you to bring your feet together and then choose to hover out or not, depending on your skill level as far as silver and bronze.
Okay, so for the followers' footwork, it's kind of the opposite, but we have a little bit of a different mentality. My goal at the end of my figure is to be behind behind the leader. So I'm going to be further onto his right side of his body, but also slightly behind him. So it's kind of an awkward transition until you practice it quite a bit. So again, if I'm going to be stepping back, I'm going to be stepping back with that right foot. It is still a straight step back from the start of this figure. So it's straight behind you. Here, he's going to start the rotation to the right. My feet will brush together, and then I will slowly start that rotation to the right. This will end up kind of stepping towards wall. I bring my feet together, and then I lower, and that's how I get my feet at this 45-degree angle. And that way I can also step out, starting with that left foot. So again, just kind of to slow-mo it here, it would be slow, quick, quick. And I definitely want my upper body still rotating towards my partner. My head will be facing this direction. My lower body will be facing this direction for that walk. And again, this is probably one of the most difficult patterns as far as like getting it comfortable. But because you're always going to be working on it, it's one of those patterns you never stop working on. I'll put it that way. Yeah. So we're keeping it at a very like, this is just how you do it really quick kind of level. But if you have any questions, of course, let us know.
Real quick, I want to make an editorial of the way that I danced it without Amanda, because I did take a true line of dance. I would never start a twinkle line of dance. I would always start a diagonal wall. So I was technically 45 degrees off, needed extra rotation on there. I just don't want you guys to get the wrong impression as we do this.
Okay. So we're going to do it together?
Yeah, we'll do it together, and then we'll do it to music.
Okay. So this is what it looks like in partnership. So we have our slow, quick, quick. And then to close it up, we both take a step with our inside foot, as you can see. Slow. Here, we're just going to do a side together, quick, quick, and you'll notice we're back into our closed position.
So a couple things, there's a bunch of different positions we can end, not positions, really, you're going to end and close. But there's a bunch of different alignments we can end at. We're choosing specifically to end with the leader facing wall and the follow facing center because of what we're going to teach next week. So traditionally, if I was going to do most of these, I wouldn't end that way, but next week we're going to kind of require that. One more thing, that step out is a heel lead. So if you saw my toe, it's because I was stopping because I realized Amanda wasn't going. But we are going to take our heel through. And that is because this dance is a smooth dance. Yes? All right, so we're going to do this to music, and we'll be back in a second.
So again, that's a basic bronze level promenade. It is a really fun step, and it's probably the most requested that students want to learn when they first start learning foxtrot or waltz or any of these smooth dances. Again, it's something you can always work on, whether or not it's the bronze or silver or gold level. You should be working on your promenade because it's very important.
Yeah, it's a tough pattern, it's a tough dance position to get correct because there's a whole lot of twist. So our best advice probably is don't ever feel like you got it and you can just move on with it.
Yeah.
It creates constant kind of shearing on it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right?
That was our class tonight. Again, the ballroom is starting to reopen for private lessons, and hopefully soon we'll be able to reopen for classes, which we'll be teaching classes here too, so it'll be a lot of fun. And we look forward to seeing you guys.
So remember, it's freeze, not fries. Ready? Wait for it.